Hello, welcome to the Storyalysis podcast. I'm Chris.
I am Pierre.
We're on a new theme today. We are on guilt. We're only doing one poem under guilt. Pierre, I'm disappointed, but it's okay.
Lies!
So we're doing Deceit I by R.J. Walker. It's a very personal poem. It's a very cathartic poem for R.J. Walker. You mentioned that it is your 8th most favorite poem out of the probably hundreds of poems that you've listened to. And he talks about a very specific moment in his life where he felt a lot of guilt. And the whole poem revolves around this moment. Not something that a lot of people can relate to. Of course, I'm very curious to know why this ranks so highly for you, since it seems like such a very personal poem for Walker.
Yeah, no, this is true. This is personal to Walker, but another thing too, Christian, we all do this in life. Like, we all feel guilty about something that we've done because we all sin, so we all do fucked up shit that our conscience punishes us for. But it's to keep going with it, which is another thing that we all do. At the end of this poem, RJ continues to go on with his life, holding on to that, which is something a bunch of us do. I love the whole poem. I love that I can relate to what he's feeling, but not the situation, of course, because that's crazy. But it's just, this poem's up there for me. I like RJ. We also did RJ for My Mother Explains My Depression to Me, like up top, if you're watching this on YouTube. But yeah, RJ's pretty cool. I like RJ.
Yeah, okay. Well, I am ready to get into it. How about you?
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Original poem in the description. Check that out, and then come back and join us. Let's go.
Deceit and I have a strictly professional relationship with benefits. We've been seeing each other for years, since before I told my aunt her birthday gift was still in the mail, since before I told my bishop that I never touched myself. But Deceit and I started really getting serious back in my ambulance days, when we worked together. We hit the sirens and drove to the trailer park that we called Wyoming, because nothing good ever happened there. We got the call at 3 a.m. Unresponsive infant. The parents stood over us, large and stiff and weeping like mountains in spring, shrinking as the snow and ice melted from their eyes. Beneath us all, a child so cold and blue, he could have been winter.
So, homeboy is painting a picture for us. This is someone who's been lying. This is basically a professional liar, a deceiver. He's been doing this effortlessly. From telling his aunt, no, your birthday gift was in the mail, which I guess is a small lie. Not really, because now our hopes are up. But then from telling your bishop, I'm not touching myself, which, as in homeboy just lies. He deceives. He's okay with doing that. But that's the progression of this poem. It's about to transition into something that I actually cannot hold on to. But regardless, so what is the thing? What is that anecdote? What is this crucial reality check for his conscience to finally kick in? He sits in the mood. The mood. Deceit and I used to work very close together back in my ambulance day when we used to drive around the trailer park, which we call Wyoming. I'm assuming that's a state, Wyoming.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it is indeed.
Imagine that's just a town somewhere. But yeah,
It could be.
sure.
It could be.
That is true. Now, to get more specific, we got a call. It was 3 a.m. Unresponsive baby. We got there in that trailer, and he illustrates this very beautiful and visceral picture. The parents stood large and stiff. I'm assuming they were big and tall, like mountains in the spring, shrinking as the snow and ice melted from their eyes. This personification of just the parents as mountains. Mountains are tall, but mountains appear more robust because there have been snow laying on them. But as the snow melt, the mountains regain their skinnier shape. The parents are like plummeting physically and like emotionally, like sobbing because their baby is dead. And the child is so cold and blue, he could have been winter. So the play on words here, the play on word with the personification, the usage of like nature, the seasons, mountains, spring, the child is cold, winter, beautifully fucking done. But yeah, he's about to get deeper into that crucial night that basically changed him. Doesn't change him, but activated something in him. Like, bro, we can't do this effortlessly anymore. So.
All right.
What do you got to say, Christian? What do you have to say?
Let's let it play out a little more, and then I'll jump in.
Okay.
All right. Let's go.
Deceit and I did CPR for a lifetime. CPR always lasts a lifetime. But we knew from the beginning. This blue baby boy had been dead for who knows how long. There was No crib in this one-bedroom trailer. These people with mountains for bodies kept the baby in their own bed and smothered him in their sleep. What a horror it is to kill the one you hold close by holding them close.
Yeah, so homeboy's getting deeper into that night. What's going on? The baby's dead. I am experienced. I've been working here for a while. I've been doing CPR for as long as people have been doing CPR. And I could tell this baby is dead. But this baby's been dead for a while. Like, that's a borderline crime. And now he's giving you more of around him. What does this trailer look like?
Wait, I think
There's no crib.
that actually that is a crime.
Yeah.
Like, just even if it's
That-
accidental.
That's criminal. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. No, but I don't think these folks were aware. But
No,
still,
they don't.
'cause-
No.
yeah, the way that the I don't want to get too far into it. What's a short poem? The way the mom sobs and the way he's saying if I'm foreshadowing for too long. That's not foreshadowing. All right, when we get to the next stop, I'll talk about that. But let's stay here. But yeah, right. Like, obviously, the baby's been dead for a while. These people with mountains for bodies smothered the baby in their sleep unknowingly because there's no crib. So I'm assuming, like, you live in a trailer for starters. You must not be in a good economic place. No crib for your
Yeah.
baby. Like, sleep between you and your husband. You mentioned, man, we're going to get to the second stop, third stop. Yes.
And also, a lot of times, the people who don't have as many means, like financially, a lot of times, like, you could see them as overweight because they eat like fast food.
You can't afford fresh food. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just builds on this whole mountain metaphor that he's talking about.
Yes. Yes. Smothered the baby in their sleep. Like, do you know how painful that is, Christian? Like, oh. Like, every time I hear these things, like babies drowning, like babies, it's just like,
Well, you know, he's about to touch on this, like the whole SIDS thing, sudden infant death syndrome.
Yeah.
So that is it's basically a term that describes like the sudden death of a baby. That's where the death doesn't have a known cause, even after they do a full investigation. So I saw something about how sometimes a baby could just be lying on its stomach, and it doesn't roll over, so it ends up suffocating to death. I would imagine that, like, pain wouldn't, like, the baby wouldn't have been in pain, because if it was struggling, I would think, like, the fight or flight instincts would kick in and their
Right.
body would just, like, automatically, move around and try to push itself up. So maybe the baby wasn't in pain when it died. But, that's just speculation. I, of course, have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're fragile beings, man. Like, my girlfriend would tell me that when her little brothers would have a cold, the mom would, like, suck the snot out of their nose when they were, like,
What?
weeks old
Wait.
or months old.
Wait, when you say suck the snot,
Like,
with
yeah,
their
like, take
mouth?
it out and then spit it out.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
You'd be surprised what
What?
a mother would do for her kid. Or not that. You'd be surprised what people do in third or fourth or fifth world countries. We're from Haiti.
That's
I don't know.
disgusting.
I don't know if the
That is
technology is advanced here.
Oh, that is
Wait,
disgusting.
I don't know. I'm not talking about technology. I'm assuming they're objects. Yeah, I think I saw something where they put water in this humidifier thing and stick it in one nostril and it
That's a neti pot.
blows something out in the other. Yeah, whatever that is.
I've tried
But
that.
unfortunately, Christian, in the land of Haiti, everything is naturally, was. Technology's everywhere now. Yeah, she would, like, basically, to bypass that disgusting image, the point I was going to get to is that if that snot stayed in the baby's nose for too long, the baby could have suffocated. As I'm alluding and making a point on the fact of how fragile the body of a baby is. But yeah, crazy shit, man, crazy shit. And of course, he ends with this line, to kill the one you hold close by holding them close. Because you don't have much. These people sound very poor. These people sound like they're barely making ends meet, but it's just, that's their baby, that's their little treasure. So they keep that baby between them. But they're big, that baby's small. So they kill the baby without knowing. But yeah, it's fucking sad, man. And he's, as he's saying this, it's like he's taking all that on him, which he's about to say too. But all right, we gotta stop the foreshadowing. All right. It's a small poem. Let's just stick to our stops.
Deceit handed me the clipboard, and my tongue grew thorns as I wrote SIDS as the chief complaint. And I told a lie the size of God's hands, as long and as dark as the midnight between stars. It's not your fault, I lied. Sometimes they just stop breathing in the night. It's called sudden infant death syndrome, and we don't know what causes it. And Mother Mountain fell to her knees and shrieked so loud I thought the earth would retreat beneath us. A lie this big could move mountains, but the truth could obliterate them. The truth was a leather belt tied around a ceiling fan with mouth wide open, hungry for her neck. The truth was all the whiskey in the world, thirsty for his blood, and a new dead drunk to call home. I can live with the guilt of a lie, but I could not live with the guilt of their guilt. So I lied. Like Cain was in the corner taking notes.
Well, so I know because of the last poem we listened to by R.J. Walker that he has very religious roots. So
Yes.
is Cain supposed to be like a biblical
Yes.
figure? It is.
Christian. Oh, you know what? I can't even judge you, or not judge you or blame you. Yes, Cain is supposedly the person who told the first lie in the Bible, which about his brother, Cain and Abel. You ever heard of Cain and Abel?
I have.
He killed his brother. That's the first murder in the Bible in Genesis. But the lie, the first lie, was God said, "Hey, bro, where's your brother?" And he said, "Bro, I'm on my brother's keeper,
Said,
bro."
bro. Yo, God,
He
what's
said,
up?
Fam, I'm on my brother's keeper. He said, yo.
Damn, you got an accent all of a
But
sudden?
yeah, I was gonna switch to Creole, but I'm like, well, that's too many stuff. Just stop. But yeah, that's what he's referring to.
Mm.
But when it comes to religious, freaking puns or some religious touches on his words, RJ does that very well. Yeah. Like when he said, "I pick up the clipboard and my hands grew thorns as I wrote SIDS," which you already alluded to. SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, which he mentions on the clipboard. And I told a lie as big as God's hands. Thorns. When Jesus was crucified, one of the first thing they did to him after like whipping him and spitting on him and making him walk with the cross, they put a thorn. No, they put a crown of thorns on his head. Like my hand grew thorns. The lie was as big as God's hand. And then I could not live. I can live with the guilt of a lie, but I could not live with the guilt of their guilt. So I lied. Like Cain was in the corner taking notes. Because Cain's like, all right, I taught you all. Because Cain was supposed to be the person who made the first lie. Which was like, I don't know what my brother is. But biblical references aside, right? He has seen what just happened. He analyzed it. It doesn't take a fucking pro to get to the conclusion that your baby died because y'all killed your baby. But he says it's not your fault. And the mom dropped to her knees, like he said, right? And he could see what the truth could do to them. Like, it's like an alternate universe. Like, okay, lady, you and your husband here, you both actually killed this kid. That's a fucking crime. Y'all were irresponsible to not get him a crib or even a little space for himself. But instead, he died in his sleep because he was between you guys and there's not enough space for him. He could see that. And he goes into that dark image, that dark alternate reality of the both of them. If I tell him this true, I can see a leather belt tied around the ceiling fan with a mouth wide open, hungry for her neck. The mom would hang herself if she knew I killed my son. I could see the truth was all the whiskey in the world, thirsty for his blood, turning him into a new dead drunk to call home. I can see how I would shatter this man by telling him, your son died because of your fucking irresponsibility or your recklessness in a way. Like he just imagined these dark futures by saying this one truth. So the thing is, for the first time in this poem, he told a lie to save two people's futures, lives, basically. Because what is a parent's first responsibility? To protect your kids. Not being able to do that can like shatter you to fucking crazy lengths. You might never come back from that. I recommend The Lovely Bones. It's a fucking heart-wrenching movie as parents. So he chose to lie to them. Deceit. He deceived them for a good cause. But now it's starting to get to him. Like, I could live with the guilt of a lie, but I could not live with the guilt of their guilt. If these people knew they were guilty, these two next deaths would have been on my word of telling them the truth of what they've done.
Yeah, he's really he's putting a lot on his shoulders.
Right. That's true. No, this was a whole 360 for this man, because you could tell, like, dude, I'm lying to my aunt, I'm lying to Bishop, bro, I'm just chilling, I don't give a fuck. But now it's like, nah, bro, I can't.
So
Like, I'm gonna lie again, but it's for a good cause.
let's say hypothetically you were in Walker's shoes here. What do you think is the right call? Telling the parents that they accidentally killed the baby, or not telling them and then letting them wrestle with the mystery of it for the rest of their lives?
Honestly, man, for the sake of these people potentially making another baby, I would tell them the truth.
That's a good
The
point.
most polite way possible, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, there's just, like, sure, you spare them. She's in pain. Like, she's crying. Like, it's not on me, but my baby's dead. But what happens 9 months? There's a movie, Idiocracy, which shows you people in economic need tend to overpopulate the most for some crazy reason. But yeah, so I never know, man. You might get a call back at 3 a.m. 2 years later, and there's 4 kids in that trailer. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know. After ranting for the past 30 seconds of telling them, I don't know. Like, there's some things I don't know until I get in a situation like that. Just too many factors. Like, I wouldn't know what to do. What would you do?
I think I would tell them. But like you said, I would tell them as politely as possible.
Yeah.
Because, you said it perfectly too. Like, if because this was clearly they loved the kid, right? Based on their reaction. So it's not like they did this out of
homicide. Yeah.
Yeah, there was no animosity there. It was just carelessness. They were careless and they weren't paying attention, and then because of that, their child died. So for them to be unaware of their carelessness could cause them to be careless again in the future. So they should be taught this lesson.
Yeah.
Even as hard as it is, like, it's the result of their own actions.
Yeah.
So, it would suck, but that's the result of their actions and their choices. So they should know what happened. I would tell them.
All right, dude, we're on the same page for once.
Yeah.
Just like when we decided to start this journey. Okay. And never again. All right. Let's wrap this up.
All right.
You made the right decision, lied the medical director. Good job, lied the nurses on my way out. When I woke up, Deceit asked, "How are you feeling?" "I'm fine," I lied. "You didn't have nightmares?" "No," I lied. "I slept like a baby."
I will admit, I did get chills at that last part. Like a piece of him died along with the baby when he lied to the parents and the doctors and himself.
Yes.
That was a cold way to end it.
Yes. Like that guilt is, it's eating this man alive, and he can't even deceive Deceit. It's like, bro, Deceit knows you. Man's like, the fuck, bitch, I know you're not fine. Like, I didn't have nightmares. Like, first ask me, did you have nightmares? Because like I know you clicked differently. Like, normally your lies are more effortless, they're freaking inconsequential. I think I used to like that word. I haven't said it in a while. But yeah, now it's like, nah, bro, now this should have a fucking crazy impact on your ass. You get to live with that, which is unfortunate because to him he did something good. This could be easily divided, the opinion of whether to tell these people the truth or not, because they are parents at their core who love their baby. So I don't know, but it's sad that now that's a way for him to stop deceiving, I guess. But the poem's mostly on guilt, which I love how it's like Deceit and I are like, oh, this is about Deceit, he's lying. But nah, bro, this is about him carrying something that has happened a while ago that has shooken him to his core. But yeah, I love this poem for that reason. That's why this is number 8. And the biblical references, I love when RJ does that. It's pretty cool. It's sick.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the comments. There's a lot of like parents and people who are in the medical industry weighing in and saying that this poem hits them especially hard. And yeah, I could imagine. Of course, we're not parents, but if you are a parent, I'm sure this hits you quite hard.
Yeah, man. All right. Do you have anything else, Christian?
No. I think I'm good. It was a short poem. Pretty short.
This was short. This was guilt. Yeah, we can't do too much guilt. It's too much. I want to start crying. But this was good, actually. I love this poem. All right. I'm going to sleep. Is it real?
All right. Good night, Peter.
Good night, Christian.
He's not going to sleep.
Bye.
All right.